Welcome back to Great North Gaming. It's great to have you here with us today, and it's time to continue our Year 7 offseason with your reigning back-to-back Stanley Cup champion, Vancouver Canucks. So if you missed the last episode, I recommend going back and watching it. We won our second Stanley Cup in a row and our fourth consecutive President's Trophy, our third trip to the Stanley Cup Finals, beating Montreal and Elias Pettersson and Brock Besser. Austin Matthews won the Hart. Ashton Robbins won the Calder. Quinn Hughes won the Conn Smythe. William LaSalle won the Vezina and the William M. Jennings. And Austin won the Ted Lindsay and the Maurice Richard. So a very successful year there. We'll take a look at the playoff tree here. So we beat LA 4-1. We swept the Edmonton Oilers, we swept the Dallas Stars, and we beat the Montreal Canadiens in 7. Montreal beat Ottawa 4-1, swept the Detroit Red Wings, beat Pittsburgh in Game 7, and then lost to us in 7 in the Stanley Cup Final. So, very successful year. I think we have officially can say we are a dynasty. We are going to be going back this year for the three-peat. I haven't decided if we're going to go 8 or 10, if we're going to just call it at 8 years, or if we're going to try to push it to 10. If anyone's really watching this series, been following along, please leave a comment down below what you think. Should we continue this on to 10 years or further, or should we start up a new one after this coming year, no matter if we win the Stanley Cup or not? So leave that down in the comments down below what you think about that. But going into the off-season here, so we do have a very consequential off-season because of our salary cap situation and giving Luke Hughes the big $16 million contract extension. So we got him locked up for the next 8 years, which is very good. Happy that. So we have the Hughes brothers locked up for the next 3 years till we have to re-sign Quinn, but hopefully he'll be cheaper by then. So, taking a look in the offseason, so goaltenders, Medvedev is someone we do need to trade. He is an RFA. It's time for him to move on, time to give him a starting role. So, we're going to trade away Medvedev, try to bring back some assets, probably just some draft picks. Defensively, our defensive core is all locked up for next year, so we don't have to change anything with that. We still have Morrison and Singh, Corpian and Singh as well, so that's all good there. Forward core, so a couple players that we need to trade. I'm thinking about trading away Connor Geekie. If we can keep him, it might be good, but honestly, we might as well just trade him away. Looking at our line changes, we'll go through those in a second, what we're thinking about for next year. He just doesn't really fit on this team. Brandon Coots is someone we want to bring back. Same thing with Ryan Leonard. But Austin Matthews is going to be traded at the draft here. We need to do it in order to free up cap space. So Chicago, Detroit, and Montreal are the teams. I think Detroit, we don't want to trade him to Montreal for sure. And then Ridley Gregg is someone that we're probably just not going to bring back. Unless he wants a super cheap contract and we can afford him, we'll bring him back. So I'll show you. So we'll go through the line changes or what the lines are going to look like for this coming year. So we're going to have William LaSalle and we're going to have Morishevich because we have him locked up for one more year. He's an 84, so that'll be a perfect backup. Defensively, we're going to run with the same. We're going to go Hughes and Jennings, Hughes and Danford, and then Ryland, Singh, and Corpian. Morrison, maybe he can make it up to the team. He's pretty good defensively. Our forward core is going to look like this. So it is going to be Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, and Gary Lowe. The second line is going to be Miles Mullen, Ashton Robbins, and Volpatti. And then the third line is going to be Skortzakov. Sorry, that's a hard name to pronounce. Braden Coots and Ryan Leonard. And then the fourth line is actually going to be a young gun line, and it's going to be Romani, Welch, and Curry. So that's going to be our fourth line. So we just don't really have a space for Connor Geekie or Ridley Gregg. So those are two more players that are going to be off the team. So what we're looking to bring back for Austin Matthews, I definitely would like to bring back, a roster player if we can. Like a really solid roster player, and then basically just draft picks. I'd rather keep the salary cap space and just have assets in order to move at the trade deadline. So that's the plan for that. And so let's advance up to the draft here. And we'll see if we have any coaching retirements. Craig Berube, congratulations. Back-to-back Stanley Cup. I don't know, he might be retiring. Salary cap. So, Toronto Maple Leafs are winning the draft lottery, jumping from 10 to 1. Excuse me. So, the Toronto Maple Leafs are jumping from 10 to 1 to win the draft lottery. Boston, Calgary, New York Islanders, and the Washington Capitals round out the top 5 there. So, perfect. You've got to take a look at our... I don't know what we have for draft picks, but we'll take a look at the retired players here. Alex Barkov calls it quits. Mark Scheifele, William Nylander calls it quits. Nugent Hopkins, Sean Monahan, he calls it quits from our team. Morgan Riley, Alex Tuck, Jaden Schwartz, Philip Gino, Devin Taves. Okay, lots of big-name players retiring here. Goaltenders, Tristan Jarry, Lankinen, perfect. And coach retirements. Vancouver. Okay, so it looks like Craig Berube is going to be coming back for another year, which is good for us. Happy to see that. He's a 2-time Stanley Cup champion. So, I think with all that being said, we got to do the off-season focuses. I'll take care of that myself. So with that all being said, let's hop into the NHL entry draft and look for some trades. Okay, the NHL entry draft here. So Toronto has the first pick. We can take a look at the draft class here. Just your standard medium elites, so no franchise players, so we don't have to worry about that. So first things first, let's take a look at Austin Matthews. So where does he want to go? Yeah, he's the older one than Nico, and he has the modified no trade. So Chicago, Detroit, and Montreal. So let's take a look at Detroit first, because they're in the Eastern Conference. So Austin Matthews. Does Chicago have more cap space? Chicago does have more cap space, so that might be easier to make it work. It's about the same. Yeah, Detroit actually might have a little bit more. So we are going to have to take back some cap space, so that's okay. Maddox Schultz, he's the one guy that I was really looking to bring in. But he doesn't fit in Craig Berube's system. So who do we want to bring in? Alex Joseph. We don't need another power forward. And $9 million. Ruck. He's a sniper. Well, let's get Maddox Schultz in there because we need the. I want the trade value, but cap space wise, who else can we bring back here that has some Edvison? We'll take back the cap space and then we can trade away these players after. Perfect. So we can get that to go through there. So Maddox Schultz, definitely Definitely would be great to bring in another playmaker. Okay, so Edvison and Kissinen. So we're going to flip Kissinen. His salary cap's not going to matter because he's 1 year left. He's got no extension, so that doesn't matter. But Edvison, we will reflip. So Maddox Schultz, Austin Matthews, and let's see if we can get a draft pick in here. First, okay, so Foss goes first overall. Let's try to get a first round pick in here for next year. Okay, so Austin Matthews going to the Detroit Red Wings for Maddox Schultz, Edvison, Kissinen, and a first round pick. Will it go through? Trade rejected. Okay, we can't get the first. How about just straight up? Austin Matthews for Maddox Schultz, Edvison, and Kissinen. Will it go through? Trade accepted. Perfect. So we freed up some cap space there. We brought in Maddox Schultz, which that is a huge add to this team, with Austin Matthews going back the other way. So now we do need to trade away Edvison here and Kissinen. So let's just trade away Edvison first here. Let's trade him to the Eastern Conference. Florida wants him. Sure, let's trade him to Florida. How about for a second round? Actually, can we get the first? Edvison for a first? No. Okay, let's just try a second and a third. Edvison to Florida for a second and a third. Trade accepted, so we got that salary cap off the books. And so now we can take a look at Medvedev here. So who would want him? I want to send him to the Eastern Conference. No team wants him? The Carolina Hurricanes want him. They don't have a goaltender, so that would make sense. And let's just get a first-round draft pick for Medvedev. Will that go through? Trade rejected. Not sufficient at all. Let's see. Rookie skaters. Let's just get a couple prospects here then. Let's just get a medium elite defenseman from too far off. Oh my God. Is there anyone on this team that we want to bring in? Okay, so trying to find a trade for Medvedev. Let's just do the find trade option because I cannot find a trade that I like. No trades found. Chicago wants him. I don't want to trade him to the West. Any other teams want him? Toronto, do you guys have a goalie? They have Stuart Skinner. Give me a second for next year. We'll help out the Leafs. They had a bad year. We took Austin Matthews from them. Let's give them something back. Skaters matching block. Rookie skaters. Toloman, sure. Okay, Medvedev for a second. Toloman. Trade rejected. Oh my God. Let's try to make this work with Carolina. I thought this would be a pretty easy player to move off of. Okay, let's just try. Can I get 2 seconds for him? Will that go through? Trade accepted. Okay, we got 2 second-round picks there. So that's gone. So we traded away Matthews. We traded away Medvedev. Now we got to look at Connor Geekie. So he has a modified no trade team. So Buffalo, Chicago. Okay, let's just look at Buffalo. Connor Geekie. And just can we get a first for Connor Geekie? Trade accepted. Perfect. So we've reshuffled the team up. We got $17 million in cap space. We got some draft picks now, so it's looking pretty good. So we'll take a look at our draft picks for this year. So we have first and a third, and then next year we have a bunch of draft picks as well. Made space for our rookies, made space to re-sign some players. So let's get up to our first draft pick here at 28. Not a very good year. We can take that guy next. Let's just take a pick here. Molly, low elite, perfect. So pick 39. Medium top 6. Medium top 6. Medium elite. Is there anyone? High elite. Okay, so we'll just get some medium top 6s, I guess, here. Summers. Definitely sucks that we had to move off of some of these players, like especially Matthews. It would have been nice to keep that core together, but unfortunately it's not something that you can really do. Like, you can't have that many, $15 million players here. It's next to impossible to keep it all together here. This is a crappy draft for sure. And decline. I don't want another player. Possible low elite. I'm not even bothered taking a look at these guys. They're probably nothing players. And possible medium elite goaltender, medium backup. So a pretty good draft. It was more about the trades that we made here in order to re-sign some players. So I got to re-sign a coach here. Let's hop to the re-sign stage. Okay, so we're here at the re-sign stage here. So Young, we'll just bring him back, I guess. 850, just in case we have some goaltending injuries. That's fine. Defensively, so Corpian doesn't want a contract extension. $3 million for 2 years. That's quite a lot. We'll wait on him. Pedersen. Just bring back these depth guys. Just on AHL contracts. Joseph, you're 32. You can get off the team. Bring in some younger guys. Temu. 6320, no. Medium elite. Mikas. Oh. That was a good draft pick. We'll take that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. So we'll just sign this guy 6320. We'll bring this guy in. Just as another AHL defenseman. Right wingers. Ryan Leonard. What do you want, my man? 8.5 for the next 3 years. Okay, we'll wait on that. Kissinen. This is the guy we just brought back from 2.8. We'll hold off on that. Anthony Mantha, do you want to come back on a two-way? Perfect. Anthony Mantha is just really good depth. Romani, we were going to play this guy this year. We'll sign him just as some depth. We might use Kissinen now on the fourth line. It's the playmaker, so it might not work. We'll wait and see that. Left wingers, Ridley Gregg, how much do you want? 3.6, that's not too bad. Skorikov, how much do you want? 2.8, that's not bad. Erickson, two-way deal, that's fine. McCollum, that's an expensive two-way contract. These guys don't want contract extensions, so we'll wait on those guys. And then centers, Brandon Coots doesn't want contract. That's not too bad, though. 4.6. Wild. Okay. Let's just get these two-way guys signed here. These don't want a contract. Okay, let's take a look at all expiring now so we can just see. Lots of players here. So, Corpian. Let's start with Ryan Leonard. Actually, let's start with Brandon Coots. He's most important, I would say. So, 4.6 for 2 years. He would still be an RFA. If we can get him at 4.8 for the next 3 years, let's try that. These guys here, just tender qualifying offers to them. Left wingers, Ridley Gregg, I wouldn't mind bringing him back for that much. Let's wait. Skorikov, definitely want to bring you back. 3 years. 2 years. At 2.85. Let's try that. McCollum. Just qualify these guys here. Right wingers, Kissinen, Ryan Leonard. Okay, let's just advance a day here. Just see if these guys accept. Skorikov rejects, Coots accepts. Okay. So we still have 17 million. Okay, these guys are all qualified here, so... Skorikov, I want you. 2 years, 2.9. Let's try that. 2.925. Ryan Leonard. 3 years at 8.5. Let's try to get him down. 7.8 for 3 years. Let's try that. So let's advance a day there. See if these guys accept. Ryan Leonard rejects. Skorikov accepts. Okay. Kissinen. Feel like we might as well try to sign this guy. 3 years at 2.8. We can just trade that guy. Corpian. 3 years, 2 million. $2.575. Let's try that. Ridley Gregg. I could bring back Ridley Gregg over Ryan Leonard if I wanted to. Save the money. Let's just advance a day here. Scorpion rejects. Okay, how many days left in free agency do we have? 3 more days. So we have 13 million bucks. All expiring here. So Ryan Leonard, 8.575. He's looking like he's going to be third line. So I know Ryan Leonard's good. I gotta try to keep this guy, I think. $8 million. So that would leave us with 5. Okay, let's try 8 by 3 here. Okay, so Ryan Leonard accepts, so we still have 6.5. Corpin. I don't want to pay you $3 million. How about 2.8? And if we can bring back Ridley Gregg, I might as well. 3.1. Perfect. Ridley Gregg and Corpin accepts. Perfect. And we still have $2 million bucks. So that's pretty good. So now we can slot in Ridley Gregg on the 4th line instead of Romani. And then we can also just trade away Kissinen because I don't think we need him. He's a playmaker. And, you know, we can just get some more value back. I just don't really see a spot for him on the team. So, you know, that's going to put us almost at $6 million bucks. So let's get to free agency here. Perfect. So, first thing we can do, in case that there's a good free agent available, where is he? Kissinen, fine trade. 3rd and a 4th, 3rd and a 4th. Can we get anything better than a 3rd and a 4th? 2 third-round picks from Montreal. Two thirds from St. Louis there. I will accept that. Perfect. Perfect. So we freed up a little bit more cap space there. So let's take a look at who's available in free agency here. So Josh Sanderson's the #1 free agent here. So we'll take a look at UFAs. So goaltenders, Yegorov. Perfect. We don't need a goaltender. Defenseman. Yeah, no one really for us to add. Forwards. Let's just look at affordable here. Is there anyone that we'd want to bring in? Kulacek? No. Yzerman? No. Honestly, there's really no one for us to add right now, so we'll wait to the trade deadline to add to the team. So I'm going to take care of the off-season focuses for the team, and we'll hop to the beginning of the regular season for the Vancouver Canucks. Alrighty, boys, so we took care of the off-season there. Nothing much changed there. We got all of those RFAs signed, so we'll take a look at the roster moves. So Lascelles still a 91. I don't know if he's going to get much better than a 91, but we'll take him. 2-time Vezina Trophy winner, back-to-back Stanley Cup champion. Mochevich is going to be our backup, and then Soderblom, Young, and Mayer in the AHL. Defensively, we got Hughes, Danford, Jennings, Ryland Singh, Morrison. He is looking better, but he's going to go down. Same thing with Miano. He is going to go down for now because Corpian and Ryland Singh are going to be the bottom pairing. And forwards, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Anthony Mantha, no. So it's either Welch or Curry. Probably Welch because he's more well-rounded. Perfect. So let me take care of the lines here. We'll edit the lines. We'll show you what we're doing for the year number 8, and we'll see if we can take care of some contract extensions as well. So I'll be right back with the line changes. Alrighty, boys. So taking a look at the lines for the year 8 Vancouver Canucks. So the first line, we're looking like Gary Lowe, Jack Hughes, and Nico Hischier. Second line is going to be Brandon Vapolti, Maddox Schultz, and Ashton Robbins. Third line is going to be Miles Mullen, Brandon Coots, and Ryan Leonard. Fourth line is going to be Ridley Gregg, Jace Welch, and Skortskov. Defensively is going to be the same as it always has been. Quinn Hughes and Bobby Jennings, Stanford and Luke Hughes, Corpian and Ryland Singh. Power play 1 is going to look like Maddox Schultz, Gary Lowe, Ashton Robbins, and the Hughes brothers. Power play 2, Jack Hughes, Nico Hischier, Ryan Leonard, Ridley Gregg, and Vapolti. Penalty kill lines, Hischier and Coots, Welch and Leonard, and Vapolti and Ridley Gregg. And in the net we have Lascelles and Moisevich. And down in the AHL, it's not really going to matter. All of our young guns are playing there. That's what we need. So let's hop to see if we can take care of some of our contract extensions for next year before we finish off this video. Okay, so taking a look at our contract extension. So Moisevich, $850 for the next 2 years. I will give you that. Defensively, Ryland Singh, 3.3. We only have $7 million. Gary Lowe is going to be a contract here. He wants 5.2. Ridley Gregg, Robbins. So we will need to free up cap space again next year because we have Maddox, Schultz, Welch, and okay. Well, that's going to be a next year problem that we're going to have to find out. Maybe a Nico Hischier waves for his last year. I don't know. But that's going to be it for this one here. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please leave a like on the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave a comment down below if you think we should be making any line changes or any trades ahead of this next season. And if we should be going for the full 10 years or should we call it after this one here. So let me know down in the comments. And until next time, peace.